Have you seen the new GreenStalk basket weave design? Come with me, we're going to set this one up. Hello and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. I'm Kim and today we are going to put together a GreenStalk full of flowers. Now the thing that's most important about this particular GreenStalk is the new design. We will be putting together GreenStalk's new basket weave design. So this is one of their leaf planters, but there is a basket weave design on the side of each tier. It's very beautiful, and beautiful things need flowers. And so we're going to add some flowers to this particular GreenStalk. Now, if you don't know what a GreenStalk is, here's a picture of one of my GreenStalks from last year, fully laid out in strawberries. And it produces so many different types of things, whether we're talking strawberries, flowers, green beans, tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, cabbage, radish, carrots, greens, lettuce. I could go on because it can grow many different things. And if you're interested in a GreenStalk, please click on the link below and it'll take you to the GreenStalk website where you can see all the different GreenStalk products that they have. Also, if you decide you're going to buy a GreenStalk, please use my coupon code Kozy10 and you're going to get $10 off your purchase of $75 or more. You want all the discounts you can get. But this new basket weave is gorgeous. And so I am going to go through the steps of setting up a GreenStalk and adding in some beautiful flowers that I have sitting beside me here. And for any of your GreenStalks, you want to use a good quality potting mix. You don't want topsoil, raised bed soil. You want potting soil or potting mix. You can make it yourself or you can purchase it from one of your local stores. And if you're going to purchase it, I recommend a couple different varieties. I recommend Pro Mix Moisture Control or Miracle Grow Moisture Control. And these are all potting mixes. Or Fox Farm. Fox Farm is really, really good in the GreenStalks. And I will be using Fox Farm. This is the one I'll be using. Ocean Forest is the type of Fox Farm I'm using this year. And this is a potting soil as well. And I've already put the potting soil in each one of my pockets. Mostly, I might have to add a little bit more. But in addition to the potting soil, I like to add a granular organic fertilizer. I'm using Dr. Earth, but I'll use pretty much anything that's on sale at the local store. And usually we're looking at something that's super low, single-digit numbers from your N, P, and K. I'm going to add a handful to each one of these pockets. Now this is the 7-tier leaf planter. So it's going to be 7 tiers high. There's 6 pockets on each tier. And I know Fox Farm has some really great nutrition already in the potting soil, but a slow release fertilizer is always good. For those who follow me, you know I already have 11 GreenStalks. And now I'm going to add some more. But these are for flowers. These are not for growing food, so I don't count them in that number. And I do have quite a few GreenStalk videos out there. So if you want to see some of those videos on more ways to set them up, the different products I used, and over the years, those products continue to change a little bit by little bit as I find better products. But there's a playlist out there of me putting together new GreenStalks, of me giving monthly tours of how my GreenStalks are doing from one month to the next in the summertime when they're fully loaded with all types of vegetables for my family to enjoy. Now, I am a GreenStalk affiliate, but I purchased all 11 of my GreenStalks before I became an affiliate. So I truly believe in the product. The product is made out of Knoxville, Tennessee, so it's made in the US. They come with, I believe, a 5-year warranty, and I've never had any issues with warping or anything like that with my product. I honestly love it. But when I saw this basket weave, I was just like, oh, I need to get that. Not that I needed another GreenStalk, but I was just like, with the basket weave and some flowing flowers, why not? Now, the only problem is we're in the middle of March. It's not spring yet. Even though it's 74 degrees today and the sun is shining, it's not spring yet. We still have some cold weather coming, or I should say cooler weather, and we have frost coming. So I had to get very creative on what I wanted to put in this basket weave planter that's being launched right now. And so I decided to go with pansies because pansies can take cold weather. Pansies will grow in the snow as long as it's not too cold. So I bought some pansies. I didn't grow them from seeds. I went to the local nursery and I got me some pansies so that I could set this GreenStalk up now and start enjoying it. I just can't wait for the summer. All right, let's talk about the next steps. So I put the fertilizer in my 7 tiers, and I'm just going to give it a nice little massage here. Mix it in really good, and I can see the soil is starting to settle. So we will need to add just a little more soil. But we will do this for all of them, and I'll bring you back. Okay, we've mixed in the fertilizer. Now we're going to have to add just a little bit more soil, but the fertilizer is all mixed in. And now we're going to add some mycorrhizal. This is Mykos, and this helps with the relationship between your roots and the soil. And it just helps it get established faster. And so this is how I like to do it. I like to dig a little hole. You know what? I should do one at a time. So let's do one at a time before I get ahead of myself. I want to dig a little hole for us to start 6 plants. And in those holes, I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of Mykos. Now, you should sprinkle the Mykos on the bottom of your plants, right where the roots are, but I just like to dig a hole and put it in that way. It just works better for me. The pansies, which are cold hardy flowers, I am growing, what is this? The Majestic Giants 2, blues and white. It's a type of pansy. And I'm growing, what is this? Delta Premium Pure Violet. So these are the 2 types that I'll be growing. I don't know if you can really see it, but this is a purple, or I should say violet and white flower, but it says blue and white, but it's violet. And then this is a really deep violet color pansy. And so I am going to do, I think, every other one. I think that's a good way to mix it up, every other one. So we'll put one there, one there, and there. And we will do the same thing with what they call the blue and white. And again, I picked these up from the local nursery. And once I put them in there, I'm going to cover these flowers up to get them back to roughly the same depth that they were already growing. And I'm going to do that for each and every one of these pansies. Now, my preferred flower is a petunia. I like my petunias. But pansies is the only thing that I can put in the ground right now. So that's what we're going to plant because we want flowers now. And you notice after I did that, I need to add more soil in here for this one to be complete. But I'll add the soil at the end. I'm going to keep planting all the way around first. 42 total pockets since I have 7 tiers. And so I'm going to follow that process of getting them set up here, digging out that little hole that I'm going to use to drop them in, and putting my Mykos in, and I'm going to do that for every tier, and then I will bring you back. Your green stalks have a line inside them that says you need to fill them all the way to the top. So I'm going back and I'm adding soil to fill each one of these containers all the way to the top. And over time, the soil will settle and you'll have to add more, but I shouldn't have to add any more this season. Maybe a little compost, but that's about it. Now that I have each of the containers full, we are going to water them in. Some of the soil was wet, but some of the soil that I put on here was dry. And so I want to make sure that I water these pockets in good, that each one of these tiers get watered in good, because when you water in dry soil, it sinks. It's going to go down and you may have to add some more. And I want to know if I need to add more before I start putting my towers together. So we will water in each one of these tiers. I'm just clearing my hose because my hose has been sitting in the hot sun all day and I don't want hot water on my pansies. Now, watering your pockets in will make each one of these tiers, in my mind, a little heavy. I'll just be honest with you, I think it's a little heavy. So another way to make sure they're fully watered in is to do it after you've put it together. But the only bad thing about that is, what if I need to add more soil? Now I'm going to struggle to get the soil added in. So we're going to water them in. And one time out the season, I can manage to pick up these pockets. Or should I say towers, tiers. I should pick up the tiers. Once a year I can handle that. And you can always get help. Get someone to help you pick them up. And they're easy till you get to the top couple tiers, unless you're like me and you're short. And then it might be the top 3 or 4 tiers. But we're going to get these watered in. We're going to put this together. And I hope you can see just how easy it is to set up one of your GreenStalk vertical planters. Now, I'm not a flower person. I am a vegetable person. But when I saw how pretty these were, I said, let's do some flowers. It looks like I got pretty much the right amount of soil in here. So I don't think I'm going to have to add any. And again, it was wet in some areas. Most of it was wet. Now I'm going to wait a few minutes and I am going to let this water soak its way through each of these pockets and make sure they're nice and settled. And we are going to get this set up. Okay, we're ready to finish up here. And the first thing that I needed to do is find the perfect location for this beautiful flower basket weaved GreenStalk vertical planter. And I decided I am going to put it at the entrance to my garage area. And so one of the first things you need to do is make sure you have a level surface. And so I am mostly level, but we know that we're going to be doing some projects here on the driveway. But for now, I am mostly level. But because I know I'm going to be doing projects on my driveway, I decided to put the wheel kit on, I should say, on this ultimate spinner. So I really like the ultimate spinner because you can turn your GreenStalk around to make sure that it gets even sunlight for all pockets. Being up against the side of my garage here, there's always going to be a few pockets that will not get sunlight because the sun is over there and it's going to go that way west. So this side of the tower will always have a little bit of shade. And so having the ultimate spinner, I can give it a half turn every couple of days or so to make sure that the GreenStalk is getting full sun to all pockets. And I know some people say that that's a struggle for them. And the answer to that is the spinner. And I bought the wheel kit because I know I need to move this in and around and out the way. And honestly, even when the temperatures gets really cold, I could roll it into the garage to keep the frost off of it if I have my precious vegetables in here. So the wheel kit is always a good option as well. The ultimate spinner, also you can get this drainage hose to try to guide where you want the water to go when you're watering your vertical tower. So a level surface means you'll have good even watering for your tower, and the hose will direct that water to the direction you want it to go in. So we're gonna put this down, and since I am on wheels, I need to lock them. So let's do that. Let's get the wheels locked so I'm not rolling all over the place. So every other wheel is a lock. So 3 wheels have locks on them and 3 don't. So I locked the 3 wheels. No, I did not. Well, oh, there we go. Down is locked. Down. There we go. There we go. Now I'm locked. So I'm as level as I'm going to get right now. And once I have the project work done out here, I will be even more level than I am now. And the next step is to start assembling this GreenStalk vertical planter, which is super easy to do. The first thing we need to do is grab one of our first tiers. This one just happens to be sitting beside me. And we're going to add that to the spinner. Now, you don't have to use a spinner. You can put these green stalks directly onto a flat surface without the spinner. So I don't want you to think you have to have the spinner. If you get full sun and you know you can get sun to all parts of your tower, then you don't need a spinner. And there's 2 different styles of spinner. I just prefer the ultimate spinner. Go to the website and you'll see all the different styles that they have. But you get this set up, make sure it's sitting perfectly on that spinner, and look at that. You know that's going to get some sun, and it's so easy to spin around. And if I have vegetables in here, I don't have to walk around the vertical planter. I can stand in one spot and I can harvest all of my vegetables. The next step, we need to add the watering disc. So these gray discs have little holes in it. There's 6 holes inside this disc. You want each one of those little holes lined up with your pockets. So when you put that on, make sure you line it up with your pockets. And then you add the next level and then just repeat the process. Now, when we go to add this next level, there is another very important piece that I would like to share with you. So let's start adding that level, and then we'll talk about it. So for this next level, it's important to know that the pockets are staggered. So the pockets of this next level is going to go in between the pockets of the level just below it. And you know it's sitting in place when it kind of falls in like that. There are little places on each one of the little legs that's going to fit just around where these 2 pockets meet. And you know you're in place when that is seated. And usually it just falls right in place and you know you're where you need to be. If you don't do this step properly, if you don't make sure that it's seated properly, then your tower could turn over. It wouldn't be level, it wouldn't be seated properly, and you could have watering issues as well as issues with it blowing over, turning over, that kind of stuff. I've never had a tower turn over. I've never had any issues. And yes, we do get severe weather here. We have tornadoes, we have windstorms. We even have a hurricane here in Southwest Ohio several years ago. But we do get high winds. We do get lots and lots of severe weather here. And so those gale force winds, those high winds could cause issues if I don't have it level. I know there were some people who thought in Southwest Ohio we don't have bad weather, but oh yes, we do. We have a lot of it. I know, since I was in the path of a tornado that hit here just a few years ago. And there were more tornadoes just a few weeks ago. So high winds is very common in Southwest Ohio. The Midwest does have severe weather. So it's time to add another tier or another gray watering disc. We're going to line it up with the pockets. We're going to add another tier. It fell right in place. I'm going to add another gray disc, and we're going to just finish this process. There it goes. Until it falls in place, I don't stop making sure that it's level. The other thing you need to keep in mind with these gray tiers is you need to keep the trash and debris out of them. If you clog up these holes in the gray disc, you're going to have watering issues. Now, have I ever did that? Yep, I have. And I took the whole tower down and I cleaned my gray watering disc, and then all of the water flowed properly the way it should. And now I've learned my lesson to keep them nice and clean when I'm putting the tower together. I wish someone had told me that when I was new to the GreenStalk gardening process. All right. So we are all the way up to the top level. Everything's in and everything's already watered. All I got left to do is put the top on. When you get to the very top, you don't need a gray disc. All you need is this top watering system. Now, this has holes in it as well. And there are 6 holes in the bottom of this. And we're going to line those 6 holes up right with these as well. And this is easy to do because there's a little lip that catches in between each of the pockets. And just like that, I have a brand new GreenStalk leaf planter ready to go. And it's going to show all of the beautiful violets and whites and purples. And it's going to be a beautiful tower that I will be sharing with you as I'm doing my garden tours this year. If you enjoyed this video on how to set up this GreenStalk vertical planter, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. I will bring you along all year to show you how my GreenStalks, as well as the rest of my garden, and how it's doing. Now, if you're interested in one of these GreenStalks to grow your vegetables or even your flowers, please check out the link below. It'll take you to the GreenStalk website and you can see all the wonderful products that they have, in addition to this brand new basket weave design. Until next time, and I hope there is a next time that you come back to Kim's Cozy Corner. Bye.